Leading with Autonomy. Now let's get to it with Maggie of Elevate Benefit Consulting. On WEDO Pay It Forward. Let's get on with it. Welcome. I'm Milena Radakovic, and this is WEDO Pay It Forward. Welcome back to WEDO Pay It Forward. I am so excited to introduce you my new guest, Maggie Crowley of Elevated Benefit Consulting. Welcome, Maggie. I'm so excited to have you on our show. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your new business.
Thanks for having me. So I'm Maggie Crowley, and I started Elevated Benefit Consulting about a year ago. Previously, I have worked in the benefit space for about 19 years and saw kind of an opportunity to branch out on my own. And so that's been exciting. I have learned a lot, but I'm lucky to be surrounded with some really, exciting other entrepreneurs and that I can go to for resources and kind of help me on this new journey. I'm still new, but enjoying every minute of it.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we have a variety of people in the audience, from startup to growth stage in their business. I love hearing when women take the initiative and go start on their own. Can you tell us what was the one thing that drove you to start your business?
Absolutely. It wasn't one thing in particular, but it was kind of a feeling. For me, what I have learned over 20 years is that I love to have control over my space and my world. I love autonomy. That is a big word that I love, that has really helped me throughout my career, allow me to be creative, kind of branch out, try new things. And when I started to feel like that was getting smaller and smaller, I found I just wasn't happy anymore. And I remember the morning that I was going to work and I thought, I can't do this anymore. I need something else. I need a challenge. I just lost that passion and that drive, and I noticed it was dissipating.
Right.
To a point that I thought something has to change. So either, door A, I find a different job as an employee, where there's the safety of the paycheck every 2 weeks, or do I take a risk on myself? And I kind of knew my world, being that it had been, about 20 years that I've been doing it. And I thought, well, let's bet on yourself and see how you do. So kind of took that jump. And I know in my past, when I was a leader with, a whole team of awesome individuals that I worked with, I always remembered never to kill that, that spirit in them, to allow them to be creative and have passion in their role. You hire the right people for the role, but you can't kill the spirit. And autonomy was just so big for me, and that's kind of where I got to now.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So I love that when you're saying leading with autonomy. For our audience, for people who are leaders and wanting to this is interesting, I haven't heard that leading with autonomy. Where should they start, or what sort of things do they need to create the culture of leading by autonomy?
Yeah, so culture is a big thing, and I lucked out in my previous life. I had such a great team that I got to work with every day that allowed me to develop that. And we had a great culture in our office, one that I loved going to work for every day. And culture is interesting in that it takes sometimes years to build, but it can be gone in a matter of days, by either that employee that doesn't maybe fit in or something structurally that's not working anymore. But if you can allow yourself to work with individuals or get into a company that allows you to grow and likes to see you grow and supports your growth, never stop learning. Pull out those books, get into those business units where you can meet other like-minded individuals and really just keep learning. But I have found, you get the big title, but that doesn't mean anything.
That's right.
You know, anyone can have the fancy title on the business card. I think the important thing is what you do with it, and there's power in that title. I remember one day when I got promoted and I got my dream job years ago, and I thought, wow, like I can literally tell somebody to do something and they have to do it. And then I went, whoa, like that's
a lot of power.
That's a lot of power. And so what are you going to do with that? And I think just leading by example, being humble, having an open door policy, a place where you can be vulnerable, because you're learning I'm still learning all the time. Never stop that. But I think to be a really good leader, you have to develop a good team and let them kind of find where they're strong. Right. And it's your job as the leader to help them succeed, kind of like, you know, get out of the nest. You're not just the boss.
Right.
You're trying to find what is their passion and support them that way. That creates a strong, cohesive team, which, you know, at the end of the day helps you as the leader, because it's a much nicer place to come to at work when your team wants to be there and they know that you have their back.
You know, I love something you said, and it's something that I believe in my organization is support your team with their own personal growth.
Yeah.
Now that could be in their business sense, but also it could be as their own person, because we're all evolving, we're all learning. We could be a spouse, we could be a parent, you know, we could be a sibling. So it's different kind of growth that we have.
Yeah.
So I'm going to switch a little bit on you. So your company is providing health benefits to the team, the staff of the organization. So if there's someone in our audience who's looking to, you know, maybe they haven't had a health benefit because they're on a startup side, or maybe they're an established company and they're looking to possibly change their benefits. What are some tips that you could give someone in our audience about what is the right package? Like what should they be looking for their team and for their business?
Right. Great question. So with group benefits, there's no one size fits all. And you want to start with corporately, what are you trying to get? These are a huge budget expense on you know, your balance sheet. And so what are you trying to get? Are you trying to get retention? Do we want to support wellness? Are we, you know, we want good health and dental, or we want flexibility? As an employer, you kind of have to figure that out first. And like, what's your budget too? What do we want to look at spending? And then from there, you know, obviously you want to find a broker that you trust, somebody who's not just out to sell you a plan and then you go, well, this is useless, like my employees don't like it, I'm spending a fortune on it. So find a broker that you trust, and then from there, design a plan and a program within the scope of your budget, your needs. Maybe do an employee survey, see what's important to your staff. If it's for them, at the end of the day, what do they want? You know, it might not be what you want, what I want, it's something completely different. Have a look at that. From there, you know, you go out, see what the marketplace has. There's lots of insurance companies out there. There's not just, you know, one or two. And then design it, bring it back, price it out, sign on the dotted line, and then we do communication. Communication is a big thing too in our world. We want to ensure people know, what is it that I have? Again, it goes into, you know, I have this benefits booklet, what do I have? So educate. And a good broker should be able to provide that service for you. I come from the kind of the more boutique, where we were very hands-on, and that's what I love about my role now at Elevated, is that I get to be very hands-on, white glove, and do that. So definitely the education piece is key, so your people know what they have.
I love that. I know for my organization, I did a lot of those tips, and I did a survey with my team. I don't have a big team, but so I wanted to make sure that in a small team, that the benefits that I was providing them was across majority. Right. Because I mean, somebody might need more short-term, long-term disability, where somebody's like, oh, I really need the vision. So I agree with you. That's a really good tip. So now for your business, you've been in business now for a year, you said. What's the next stage in your business?
Next stage, well, for right now, I've kind of got a nice client base, getting them kind of all settled and kind of getting my own feet settled, because it's a whole new world, right? As you know, and you know, now you're, you know, every penny that comes in, you need to know where it's going.
Yeah.
And so just learning the business side took a lot out of my last year as well. So for next steps, I'm looking for kind of new opportunities. Is there crossovers with other sectors? Kind of looking at, you know, that HR piece as well. And so a whole kind of gamut of things right now, and, you know, bringing on some staff and supporting me. So that would be kind of the next goal for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely love that. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maggie. This
Thank
has
you.
been fantastic.
Yeah.
If you were to give one tip to an entrepreneur
Yep.
who is starting up, what would that tip be?
You have to believe in yourself. I think, you know, believe that you can do it, and don't forget to celebrate the wins. No matter how small they are, I think we often focus on what we could have done better, where we failed. I think of failure as it's just an opportunity to learn from that, and then you know what to do differently. But celebrate the successes, start traditions. Every time, you know, I secure a new client, my daughter and I do a high five,
Oh,
you
I
know,
love
because
that.
at the end of the day, she's watching mom in this new environment, and so she's my biggest cheerleader. And so celebrate the wins, be proud of what you do, but believe in yourself.
Fantastic. So Maggie, if you could tell our audience, how can they get a hold of you if they're interested in looking for a package for their business?
Absolutely. So if you are based in Alberta, because my licensing right now is only in Alberta, check out my website at elevatedbenefits.ca, and all my contact information is on there, as well as the services that my firm offers, and I would love to connect with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, audience, and stay tuned for more. Wow, that was amazing information for these such aspiring women entrepreneurs. And if you know someone that you want to hear this great stories from, then go and nominate and sponsor the next woman entrepreneur. And don't forget to go on WeDoCanada.com, join the community, maybe get an apparel or a bracelet, or even just volunteer your time. We'd love for you to join our community.